now we're going to end the night. We're going to end the night on a high note at the Nut House. And just for the record, I'm like pretty morally against calling anything the Nut House, simply because I'm back in Arizona. I don't know. I've been to the Nut House, I think is what she's referring to as the mental institution, not myself as a patient, but with my dad, and seeing him in that state and seeing a lot of the people there, it's sad. It's a shitty situation to be in, because you really see that people that are there just need help, and the system that exists, at least in the United States, and I'm sure in other countries too, is probably worse, is horrible. And yeah, they're putting you in, at least back then, there are some people, especially when you're in the hospitals, that are like, now I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm not speaking as like generally like this is the world and how it works. But in my experience, like I saw when I was a kid, like people being, put into like restraints, and the cops bringing people in and screaming and blood and like all this stuff. It's like, I know it's a joke. It's funny. It's a nut house. But like, when you've actually sort of been in that, it's like you wouldn't want to joke about it, because it's a necessary thing for people to get better, and I think it really does change a lot of people's lives for the better. But it's also a traumatic experience, and I don't think anyone wants to be there ever when they're there. So just saying, I'm not like going to hold her to that like too harshly, but I think it could be a little bit more sensitivity training on their part. Okay, and we don't have to necessarily watch this whole thing, unless it's juicy. Well, let's see.
There you are.
She looks different.
There you are. There we are.
Wait, why? We are going live right now at a very inopportune time for Dave, because the game just started.
Well, there's been a lot of games, and it's a slow game so far. Field goals only.
Do you know, I did not understand the importance of the first day of football until I met you.
It's holy. Today's been a day. And I look forward to this day, like most good people do, forever, because football only happens during a certain time.
If you did not see my story, you need to go check it out. Dave had 7 screens up.
Dave had like no pants on also. And why does she sit like that? This is a bad angle. Like, tilt the camera differently, please.
Well, let's see. At one point, because there was
the way you're supposed to.
There was a screen, the main screen. There was the bottom screen on this main screen, and then there were 3 screens on your other screen with a small screen down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you had your phone up.
I was checking the old fantasy.
He had his phone up. I love it.
People are already asking about the rings.
What rings?
They're not engagement rings.
Oh, these rings.
They're not engagement rings.
I have not seen.
Let's settle down.
So, what are these rings?
Why would you guys ever think that? It's like just married behind them, and then like their wedding photo. Guys, calm down. Why would you ever think that? I have no idea. You have 2 giant engagement rings behind you.
Actually, we're here. I wanted to hop on because tomorrow is the start of my next 60-day challenge. I say next. I hesitate to say final because I'm having so much fun in pre-week now that I'm changing my mind.
Yep.
I don't know if it is going to be the final. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work getting here.
Challenge starts tomorrow.
Challenge starts tomorrow. Our next 60-day challenge, I'm getting a ton of questions. I wanted to hop in. It's hard for me to answer all of the questions over stories. And I know that if I'm getting 10 of the same question a day, many more of you guys have the question that are not even asking. So it does start tomorrow. What a weekend to start a challenge.
Can we start with the first question?
What?
The rings are because this is the anniversary challenge.
I was going to make an...
Don't say it like that as if like we're all stupid. Your idea is stupid, the anniversary challenge. Give me a break. We all know why you're doing it. You're trying to insinuate and get people to like tune in to see if you guys are going to announce if you were engaged or not. That's all we all care about. Your relationship status, okay?
Inappropriate comment. I'm not going to.
That's definitely going to happen during this live.
Never quit. We're having too much fun. Listen, I know that is the thing. Can I just tell you that I put a lot of unnecessary stress on myself to make things perfect. I do. Like for you guys, not for me. I care so much about the experience. Like if you are someone, I see people here who have done multiple.
I don't know if he's patronizing her or not. I would hope so. You care. Yeah, you do. Sure. Or if he's being not genuine, but like being a jokester, or being like he thinks that she does care. I don't know.
Challenges. You can attest that every single challenge gets better and better. And when I say better, yeah, the party's better, but sometimes better is making it simpler, right? Like this challenge, I think we got in, and like these lives that we're doing every day in pre-week, having one live a day is beautiful. And the way that they're like a little mini show that we do where we have guests on and we educate and we laugh like crazy. If you missed it, if you are someone who's looking to sign up, you're going to have access to all of what we did in pre-week. There's chefs that came in. There's different fitness professionals, it was so much fun that we had inside of the group, and a lot of education in there too. But also, every challenge gets better because we have better guides. We have better programs. We find the gaps from the last challenge. So like this time, we added a brand new program called Body Weight Basics. So we have the traditional Get Fit Classic programs. We have the accessory, the glute program that I have from last time. And then we added a new Body Weight Basics program because while anybody can do any of the workouts, because we tell you how to scale, how to modify, we still realized that there was a need for a more body weight style program that actually I filmed, I recorded inside of a home. I have coaching videos to scale every
inside of a home, not my home, a home.
Single move. I even have modifications for people who can't get on the floor, because I realize we have a big audience of people that can't necessarily, whether it's knee issues or back issues, getting up and down off of the floor is a hard thing. And I want to make sure that we very clearly have programs that speak to all of them. I also know that 6 days a week for some people is too much. So Body Weight Basics is 3 days a week. And then on the other 2 days, we stretch. We have mobility programs. So the challenges get better.
I'll tell you, I think that they get better. I think that they get better because one of your gifts is listening. Like you have listened so well to what each of the people in the challenges, each of the previous...
As she doesn't listen... She stares at herself immensely, intensely into the camera, reading the comments as he talks into her ear without any comprehension. You're so good at listening.
3 times have represented as, you know how you can make this better? Or I'm struggling with this thing. If you could just do this one thing, it would be so much better. And have pushed the team to try and meet these people where they're hoping to be met. And so it has evolved, but it's evolved because you've just been, I think, really great about taking feedback and implementing things that make it better. So,
I would beg to say that I don't just take feedback, I actually ask for it. Like I am somebody who looks for what...
I am somebody that does feedback questions, as every business in the fucking world does. People actually pay their customers to give them feedback, like free gift cards and, incentives to give them honest feedback. But Heidi's different. She's built different. She is the only person who wants to hear feedback and actually takes it and uses it. Because, she's definitely not blurring the lines between who she is as a person and her business. No. That's not what's happening. She's going to tell us how she's different.
That might not be right. Sometimes that's not a good thing. It's a strength and a weakness. But I like it because then I can provide a better service. And
listening to people's weakness.
Why I called it my final challenge. The work and the pressure that I put on myself to have something be what I know it can be for you guys is a lot. But then once it's created, like now we're in the pre-week and we are having so much fun. And all of our hard work is now paying off in the way that
Hold on.
There's Colleen. Oh, there's a bug on the door.
Those are the random ones.
It's simpler. Like we're showing up each day and we're able to have fun. I'm seeing the inside of the community. For those of you that are there, there's so much joy and excitement and happiness
Right.
and gratitude for what's been created. And so it's awesome to see like some of the posts in there about the new Body Weight Basics program and some of the guides that we have. Okay, people are asking, we're not engaged.
No.
We're not. Should we get those out?
I mean, for the love of all things holy.
Why would you have the rings? Why do you have rings if you didn't get engaged?
Why do you follow me if you don't already own my book?
Why would you have rings in your shot if you weren't engaged?
This is because it's our it's because it's the anniversary challenge. We've been doing challenges for 1 full year. This is the anniversary challenge.
So simple of a
So
concept,
that's what the
guys.
wedding
So
rings are.
simple.
Let's get that out of here. Dave, are we ever going to get engaged?
I don't know. Who knows?
That's not what we're here to talk about.
Who
right?
knows?
Oh my God, how awkward. Heidi, again, if you want to be engaged to this man, propose yourself. And okay, here's my rant. You know, as someone, and I have never proposed to someone, so there you go. You know, here we are. Someone giving advice from a place of not doing it themselves. But I've never been in a rush to get married ever. I am terrified of marriage, to be quite honest. So I struggle for any sort of commitment. So there's my perspective. But if you really wanted to be engaged, you should do it yourself as a woman. If equality truly exists and you are ready and you think that this person is the one that you want to be with, you need to like be okay with the rejection that you're okay with him receiving if you were to say no. In my opinion, like saying it passive aggressively on this live stream, like, are we getting engaged, Dave, is way worse than you saying, Dave, will you marry me? And he says no. And then you understanding where you both stand on the relationship and then leaving, exiting, or sticking around until he is ready. But the fact that like it's not okay for women to be rejected or having the possibility, because that is a chance when a man or anyone, you know, proposes marriage. But like as women, I think that we need to sort of be better about being rejected potentially and not have it like end our life. Like, oh my God, like I can never be rejected ever. I just think, you know, I think it's easier said than done, obviously. But I think this is something that holds us back as a gender. That's my gender rant for the day, and something I think about a lot. It's like, you know, if you are ready, then let's go. Let's go. Don't wait around for someone who, you know, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. Whatever. Back to this.
That's not what we're here to
We'll
talk
see.
about. They're saying, will you all ever get married again, or have you ruled it out completely? Oh, thanks, Alyssa. You know what? Can I pin that?
Hey, there you go.
I'll pin it right there. That is what
I just saw a funny comment.
would it say? You're so desperate for a ring.
If
Actually,
you
I'm
only
not.
knew.
Let's talk about
If
it.
you only knew.
The opposite of. I've been married twice.
The opposite of.
And I don't know. I'm not saying.
Okay, so she's saying if you only knew. So does that mean that he did ask her and she said no because I have children or whatever? So I don't know. I'm so confused. I guess she's about to explain it. Thank you, Aaron. Aaron. I like the spelling of that. Arien. Thank you. It's going to pop up in a second for that sparkly diamond. Here, this is for you, Aaron, in advance.
You are going to marry Dave Hollis.
That's for you.
Marriage is a thing that I'll never do, but I'm an emotional person, and in my emotions, I'll say I'm never getting married again. Here's I don't know if that's true or not, right?
Who knows?
But also I am crystal clear that I've made decisions at points in my life that maybe I shouldn't have made decisions, right? Like I'm grateful for what came out of my marriages, but also I'm learning lessons. And I think that's what life is about, is sometimes we get into things and we realize that it's not right, or
Heck yeah.
I need to be more careful. And I'm not like, you are the greatest, but I also think
But
I
also,
have growing and I have learning, and you have growing and learning to do. And
We also have so much fun
know?
with the whole like naming the relationship or defining it, because it is what it is. And it also, by the way, it's been up and down, and it's been, like, it continues to change and grow, but like labeling it as engaged or not engaged,
it doesn't,
feels like an unnecessary.
Someone just said something great too.
So okay, if that's the truth, then why, Heidi, are you asking him on the live stream, Dave, when are we going to get engaged? Or every time it says, and someone brings it up in a question where she posts it, like, she is not, it's not like it's popping up, like they're choosing to acknowledge it. And in her Instagram stories where it was like, I have an announcement, it was like, are you getting engaged? And she's like, ask Dave. What's that about then? If this is not important to anything, why do you constantly bring it up? It's like, oh, blaming you guys for keep asking. It's like, no, you keep bringing it up.
They said, if it's not broke, don't try and fix it with marriage. I agree with you. And then I also agree with, if it's broke, don't try and fix it with marriage. Like, I don't think marriage or kids or a dog or a new house or anything fixes
Leave
anything.
Jeffrey
like,
alone.
No material thing that you can do, like no step you can take. Like, the only thing that fixes anything is working on yourself.
Together.
And that's kind of what this does. I feel like if I'm not interested in, and you're not either, in like falling into somebody hoping that it makes you a more complete person, because the goal is to be complete on our own. And then whoever
We spend every waking moment together. However, we're going to get better alone. It's like, okay, sure. Good luck.
you're with, it amplifies it.
Exactly. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. I think it's funny. Just even having ring balloons prompting such conversation is funny.
How would it not? How would it not? That's the only thing that there's interesting about them as people. And that's mean. That's very mean to say. Dave would say that's a mean thing to say about them.
That wasn't nice.
But they really don't have a great personality besides the intrigue of are they, aren't they? I mean, that is their thing. And I think that they know that and they've capitalized off of that, because even this is like the people, oh no, this is an Instagram Live. But a lot of the people in the group are asking too, I would imagine. And they want to know. They're invested in the community and they're the heads of the community. I mean, that's what's making them, interesting in any way, engaging in any way. Engaging, ha ha ha, pun intended. Like, otherwise, what do they have to offer? Like, do a squat? Come on. Dave doesn't even have that. Dave has, like, nothing.
What are you most excited about in the challenge?
Yes.
What are you most excited about in the challenge? I'm the most excited
Getting engaged.
About the path is so clear this time. Like, again, we've never not had an incredible
not
challenge.
clear.
Never. They've always been amazing. And part of why it's amazing is because, like Dave said, we listen. And I'm excited for people to, inside of the challenge, to see in them what I see in them, for them to get a little glimpse of it, for them to start to realize that the power and the magic is actually in them, not in me and not in anything else. And that's what I believe is so great about these challenges is we spend time with the group. Yeah, we talk about diet. I hate the word diet. We talk about nutrition. We talk about exercise and moving our body and the physiological benefits and the psychological benefits of those. But more importantly, we do talk about the foundational elements of transformation, the things over the years that Chris and I had used to help people lose hundreds of pounds over the course of a year.
Everyone get your bingo cards out. Chris has been mentioned. Okay, Dave starts to disassociate. Once again, Chris is mentioned. 10 minutes in, so after the 10-minute mark, so not as soon as other ones, but hey. There's the chat that came in super late. Dang. Aaron.
I love you.
Here we go, Chris. We know him now. We stan Chris on this channel. No, you don't have to stan Chris. I don't care if anyone likes him or doesn't, or, all opinions are cool with me. And I think there are some problematic things, but on the scale of Dave and Heidi, he is far off the charts, in my humble opinion.
Oh, I love that sound.
Here we go.
Right? And things that can actually
Chris has been mentioned.
make
Where's
the
my
difference
mug?
between temporary weight loss and permanent transformation. Like we always say, Weight loss and transformation are two totally different things. Weight loss, it's calories in, calories out. You eat at a deficit, you're going to lose weight. You have a deficit of 3,500 calories. It's 1 pound you're losing, right? Or you'll lose. That's temporary. Most of the time when we focus on the number on the scale, when we focus on what we're eating and how we're moving over, how we're creating habits.
Yeah.
Right? When we focus on those things over the others, it's temporary. We'll hit a goal. We have that lottery syndrome. We think, when I get there,
if I get to this number,
then I'm going to be happy. When I can look a certain way in a bikini, then I'll be happy. When
we understand this basic ass concept, Dave and Heidi and any other self-help guru who will come in the future. Every goddamn person on earth understands this concept as an adult, that when this happens, this will make me happy, is a fallacy and is not real. Everyone knows that at a deep level. Whether they act out on it or not, I don't know, but we don't need to be told this a million times, and we don't need to be told that life happens to me instead of through me, okay? Thank you, Savvy.
I'm 150 pounds, then I'll be happy. Where if we're not addressing the reasons why we're unhappy, or the reasons why we've put on the weight, or the reasons why we're self-sabotaging, no goal we ever hit will be permanent. Right? And chances are, we're going to struggle to hit it anyway. We're going to go right back to
before we get to the end.
Yeah. And we'll go back we'll be in that same insanity loop of doing the same thing over and over again, of setting a big lofty goal, sticking to it for 10 days or whatever it is.
60 days.
That, right? And then before you know it, you can't do it anymore because you've set too many big goals.
Yeah.
You feel like a failure again. And you stop making promises to yourself or commitments or goals because you don't believe you have what it takes to reach them, right? But what's transformation? Transformation is working on your head and your heart. Transformation, they are the things that we weave in to behavior change and habit change. Yeah, we gear it towards physical fitness. We gear it towards health because that's our profession. That's what... And when I say that's what Chris and I have done for years, that's what I brought to this.
I say us, meaning me and Chris, not this douchebag.
But you can literally take the secrets that we teach. You can take those teachings and you can apply it toward relationship or career or anything. And I believe that's what makes this challenge so different. I think also is the community.
The community to me is what am I most excited about? This has been a place that invites you to come exactly as you are. You're having a good day, great. You're going to be celebrated and encouraged.
This is a community that encourages anyone who has $250 to join exactly as they are, but make sure they have that $250 plus more like you'll be more liked if you bring $5,000.
Encouraged. You're having a tough day. You're going to be welcome in the midst of your tough, told that you are okay, normal, good enough, just as you are. And will be helped, whether it's walking alongside, holding hands, or with the resources and tools that live inside the portal until you get back up on your feet. And so
he seems like this is a script that he has been forced to read in some sort of captive video. Read this script. He seems like he's read this a million times. He's done. He's over it. That's the vibe I'm getting.
So I don't know. In a world where there's a lot of not great spaces on the internet, this is an exception to that rule, and it's just been amazing because these people, they see each other for who they are, and in that are invited to see themselves as already good, already whole, already worthy of whatever it ends up being that they are pursuing in life. And I've been a huge beneficiary of it.
What makes this community different? There are a lot of people online. A lot of you guys message me, and I block you. I don't agree. It doesn't fit my vibe to ever judge or be mean to somebody.
Cool.
Never.
Good for you.
I just never will. I don't understand it. I understand.
Okay, let me break it down for you, Heidi. The reason that I do it, and I can only speak for myself, is because it helps me process things that are going on in my own life and feelings of non-belonging. Every time there's something like this being advertised to me, feeling like disdain and disgust for it. But then being told it's this amazing space where everyone loves each other. Same thing with MLMs, like being in an MLM conference, everyone's like, everyone loves you here. But then being a sort of like, I don't know, a normal person that's not totally gullible, I can see that those things come with strings. Like, oh, the love of this MLM comes with me selling at a certain high number, or me, selling my friends on the product. And same with this, like this comes with strings attached of, I have to pay my money, I have to worship Dave and Heidi and never ask, any sort of questions or give any, negativity in this space. And I find that to be problematic. And I think analyzing it and judging them very harshly, I'm not hiding behind a keyboard myself. I'm not messaging her. I did email Dave one time asking him for an interview if he was interested. And I feel like it was very professional. So, I guess sue me, but I don't, DM Heidi and say horrible things to her. But I think analyzing their behavior, it does help me understand where I stand. And then having people who also agree makes me feel validated. So that's where I'm coming from. And the judgment is based on, if you don't judge, you are being misled in a million ways. And if you're not discerning all the time, you're going to be screwed in your life. So judgment, if people are going to watch this potentially and go, wow, what a fucking hater bitch, I'm going to go support them double. And that's life, baby. Like you're going to get people who don't like you. You're going to get people who do like you. And the people who don't like you are never going to probably like you. But that's why I judge. It honestly helps me. So sorry. Once again, I just wanted to answer that for her.
Understand that people who are mean or who judge are really sad people. And for that, I have compassion for those people, right? Like I can't.
Bitch, that's a judgment. What are you talking about? Oh my God. Let me go back for a second. She's like, I don't judge anyone, but anyone that judges me is a sad person with a sad life. It's like, okay. Again, too, it's like you're putting this information out there. So it's basically like, okay, here's an example of a physical thing. I put a white piece of paper. Thank you, Just to Becky. Just to Becky says, I'm so inside of this that I got lost. Yeah, well, we're with you. We're with you, Just to Becky.
Turns out you can have a full life without putting it all on social media.
Dave said it first.
Unfollow me.
Thank you, Just to Becky. I appreciate that. But let's say, for example, put this in a context of like you put a white piece of paper, a big banner outside of your house, and you leave it there. And then not only do you put markers and paints and different things outside, you also say, I'm a Libra, I'm blonde, I'm this and that. You put all this information next to the painting, and then people come around and start to like do their own, like, let me like do my own drawing on the paper. I don't know, this is a stupid example. But if you're putting the material out there for people to comment on, you're putting your information, loads and loads and loads of information out there to the world, as if you're writing a book. I mean, the amount of content that these people produce is astronomical. You're putting that out there to the world. By saying that I don't understand people who judge, you're saying in the universe that you think exists, the only way to consume this content is with adoring love and adoration for me. That is narcissistic. I understand putting myself in this position on this live stream. People are going to think I'm insane. I get that. I understand that people are going to think I'm a negative bitch and that like I'm crazy, and that's okay. I'm like accepting that reality that a lot of people aren't going to understand it. And they need to do the same thing, in my opinion, to actually become more like realistic and I don't know, like just have a basic grasp of understanding. Because if that's true, like, okay, what she's saying, like, if I don't understand people who are mean, okay, what if there was a person who is like, and people do this on the internet and say, all women deserve no rights. Women deserve to be put into prisons. Now that's an opinion, right? Now, if I'm going to judge that and say, no, that's wrong. Okay, is that okay? Or only certain opinions are okay to judge? That's where I start to go, don't tell me what to think. Don't tell me what to say, and we'll be good. And it's like, I hate this, pity me. I'm a victim of judgment and bullying. It's like, no, you're not. You're choosing this Your speech is meant to be criticized. If it's not, that's where we have problems in this world. That's what a cult is. So shut up. Okay, sorry. Let me hear about my sad life. Let me go back just a tad. Okay, here we go. Sorry, everybody.
People, and for that I have compassion for those people, right? Like you.
Yeah, she has so much compassion, I'm sure.
I don't agree. I don't. It doesn't fit my vibe to ever judge or be mean to somebody. Never. I just never will. I don't understand it. Like, I understand that people who are mean or who judge are really sad people. And for that, I have compassion for those people, right? Like I can't help but read some of the comments and be like, man, I feel bad. I don't know what they went through as a child to be someone who feels happy trying to make people sad. And because of that, because I don't understand it, and because I don't care what anyone sees to me, but I see the way that other people are treated in this world.
Again, here we go. I don't care. I have no feelings. I don't care what people say to me. I'm above feeling bad for criticism. Okay, sure. That's denial. I feel bad when people say, I don't like this, I don't like your opinion. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, I wish everyone in the world loved it. But I know that that's not possible. So that's like living in reality. I wish I didn't have to work ever a day of my life and I could just be a millionaire and go on every trip possible and live forever. That's not reality. So just because I wish it was true does not mean like, okay, I'm going to just manifest it, womanfest it. And it's like, oh, your childhood, like, I don't know. This is a judgmental person right here who's saying, I'm not judgmental. I'm actually above judgment and feelings. And now I'm going to tell you how you're bad. It's like, what? You need help.
And a lot of times it will have to do with how they look or what they weigh or whatever it is, like things that like are struggles and are hard for them. And so I wanted a community, and
okay, sorry, I've cut this off so much. I apologize. The only time she's accepting someone who, in her words, is super obese in her life, if they're actively working to lose the weight, specifically in her program in which she is getting paid for it. Tell me and show me one person in Heidi's life that is not super fit, that's like in her life, that's not paying to be there. I'll wait, as they say on the internet. Show me one person who fits that criteria and I will never stream again. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. But seriously, the people she's saying like, oh, I'm so concerned and caring and compassionate about this, people who are of different weights. It's like, yeah, when they're giving you money. Right? Like, that's the truth. And be honest with yourself. God.
I have a community. Like, this is a community where no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter what you weigh, no matter what you did in your past, if you come as you are and you are authentic and you are real and you are vulnerable, you can take your
But don't judge me or say anything negative to me or else I will block you, as she just said. So that's not showing up as I am, because I'm showing up pissed off at this world, pissed off at these self-help gurus who make millions of dollars, pissed off about the communities that have been made and make people feel like shit all the time. So it's like, I want to express that, but that's not acceptable. So I'm not showing up as I am because there's all these rules involved. Don't tell me how to act. Ugh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Crystal. Preach. Thank you.
It's giving me life.
It's giving anger. It's giving stress release. That's what I'm giving right now. I'm telling you, I had a bad weekend, so I'm just letting it out, guys.
It's okay to cry.
Heidi, do you know what the fuck you're talking about right now?
No.
I know. That's why I'm allowing it to happen. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that.
I have to go do a potty.
That's what you should say, Heidi. I think, she's trying to be like, oh, I'm so accepting of everyone. It's like, yeah, that has money. Anyone who has a beating heart and cash, you're cool with. That's not an oppressive quality to me, personally.
Mask off and show up exactly as the person that you are. And you are interested in living your best life. If you're interested in being loved as you are, and you're interested in learning how to love yourself and become and grow in a way that you never thought possible, like, this is a community where you are wholly accepted. It's a community where I know you will indeed make mistakes, because I will too. I am human.
For sure.
I'm imperfect.
For sure.
And
For sure. And 7 years ago.
You know, we give you plans, but I also understand that, like, it's not about doing it all perfectly and then I'm going to praise you and I'm going to love you. No, it's about doing it the best you can, admitting when you fall, allowing me to reach my hand out and help you up, or someone else in the community, and give you a hug. And it's about a community where even if you have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, knowing that you are still welcome there. Like, you are still human and you're just like the rest of us, right?
I think too, the great thing.
What, we didn't work out that day? That's the only exception. Like, oh, you didn't work out today? Okay, you can still stay in the group. Oh yeah, I also paid to be here. So you're going to kick me out because I didn't, like, you know, eat my protein shake or whatever? It's like, you're not allowed to say anything negative. We've already said that. It's a completely controlled environment where everyone's positive. They're selling upon that as like the biggest reason why someone would join this Facebook group community portal PDF email that she's been shilling for like the last, you know, month or so, 2 months. So again, like, what you're selling is a hyper toxically positive environment, and that can be beneficial for people who need that and want that and cannot stand any sort of dissent. But that quickly can become a cult. That's what cults are. Never like say anything against the ruler, never say anything against the group. Like, I'm not saying that's what they're running right now, but that is the same concept, and that obviously has negative effects down the road. That's all I'll say.
Is when you do enter the space with a willingness to own the stuff that you're working through, you go from feeling alone or broken to feeling normal and human, because you're immediately encouraged by a bunch of people that are going through the exact same things, the same feelings, the same shame.
Ironically, that's what the Reddit thread does for me, and snarking communities does for me too. It's like, we're all pissed off at certain things in the world, and like, we're coming together to talk about it and discuss it. Now, the difference is there's no pressure to do that in a paid, I think, expensive paid environment. So actually, I think the snarking community is a lot better than this fucking community, because it's free to do. And I can go on Reddit right now and explain myself, and 10 people are going to say, oh, I understand that. Or, yeah, well, have you thought about it this way? And there you go. It's the same thing. So, and it's not paid for. Again, like, whatever. I'm sorry.
Same whatever it ends up being. And there's, I don't know, like, just at a basic human level, I think we all are interested in knowing that we are not alone in our struggle or alone in the things that we're processing. And that is something that just exists inside of the community in a really, really beautiful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good comments. I'm assuming one of the comments that came through was about what if we already missed pre-week in the lives. I think Alyssa or someone had commented back. If you miss pre-week and you miss the lives, you're going to have access to them. So if, say, you join before tomorrow or by tomorrow, you'll have access to everything. Everything we did in pre-week, you'll have access to. I saw what Alyssa said. I think it was Alyssa. Someone said the lives are for fun.
Alyssa.
So pre-week is a bonus. While I call it a 60-day challenge, it's essentially, it's 2.5 months is what it ends up being. And we sometimes keep it open for a little bit longer. But we give you 9 weeks of programming. We give you an entire bonus pre-week. And bonus pre-week every single day.
Bonus
I had
pre-week.
a new guest or two on our little show that we did. And we gave you tips for success. There's so much light and positivity. And it's the kind of a thing where if you get in tomorrow or tonight, use that as like a, hey, when you want to kill time, they are like podcasts, really great, powerful podcast. There is not one live you'll listen to where you won't feel super inspired to be a better person. There's not one live that you would listen to.
Well, them making chicken in the kitchen is going to make me feel like I want to be a better person. Give me a break.
Where you won't have practical tips and tools to take away. Now that goes to Jenna Shaw. You said, what's your best tip for a first timer just getting started?
Quit.
This is for a first timer.
Don't do
and
it.
For an old timer. For those of us who have been around doing these for a long time, but especially for a first timer. Gold nugget rule. It is so important. If you are starting something new, if this is your first time doing a challenge, have grace with yourself and understand that Anytime something's new,
Why are you screaming?
You're gonna
also?
feel overwhelmed. You're gonna feel new. You're gonna feel like you're not good, right? Because that's how we always feel when we start something new. It's
Not
like
true.
A baby learning to walk for the first time doesn't just stand up and
You guys are all babies that have never walked before. It's like, I thought this was advanced level, beginner to advanced.
start walking. No, they get up and they fall, and they get up and they fall, and they stand, and then they're up for a little bit longer, and then they fall. So inside of a new community,
Do you know that people breathe in and out as well? Do you know babies stand up and fall back down sometimes when they're little? Do you know they don't have teeth when they're born? Yeah, this is a really great self-help concept.
you have to expect that it's not going to go perfectly. You have to expect that you're going to struggle a little bit. This is why that community aspect is so important. And also,
Heidi claims in an email that I got today that there's 1,000 members of this live community. So that would be $250,000 in profits, or at least in revenue, if that is true, and if everyone did the lowest tier with no add-ons.
if you can
I don't know if
focus
it's true or
every
not.
time you're in the community, every time, I want you to think, what is one gold nugget that I can get from today? Yeah, you're going to see 50. You're going to open it up. You're going to see all these posts, and you're going to be like, which one? Do I have to do them all? No, you don't have to do them all. In fact, you shouldn't do them all.
Pre-walk.
It's like, I always say, it's like a big toolbox, and we're going to keep giving you tools. But every single person is on an independent, unique journey. And what
My favorite thing about community is that everyone's independent.
I need
Okay.
in my toolbox to get to where I want to go, and what Dave needs in his toolbox, and Jenna, what you need in your toolbox might be different. So we should never compare our journeys to somebody else's. If you get in there and you're like, wow, okay, this is an amazing tool. Yes, I see all of these things, but this one right here is speaking to me right now. If I can just grasp onto this, implement this into
This booty squirrel is really calling to me today.
my life, if that one gold nugget implemented consistently over time would 100% make a massive change in your life. Even on a weekly basis, like what's one gold nugget? What's one thing you can do today that will help you be 1% better than you were yesterday? And that is something in our
And
life.
isn't this she's been saying this 1% better thing every day. Isn't that a concept that like someone else has created that she's just like taking, like as they all do, and just using now as her own, work? Like, oh, everyone just be 1% better. It's like, not like a guy's whole career is like saying that.
Lives and in the community, we reiterate a lot. It's let go of, get rid of the pressure that you got to do it all perfectly.
Or you have to do it all. You don't have to do it all.
That's the thing. And this is a great comment from Mariette. Yeah, man, like this is $250,000 for 6 weeks. She's done this 4 times in a year. Okay, so you gotta think like it's up to like $500,000 at this point. I mean, maybe we're the dumbasses, really. And I've been saying this, and I hate to be like nihilistic, and I'm not usually nihilistic. I mean, I am, but like extreme nihilism comes out sometimes. It's like all of the concepts that I was taught as a child to be a good person, cooperation, empathy, letting people have their moments, and being a team player, and working hard, and, studying, and all these things that, and having people get their fair share, and fairness, all those concepts that you learn in kindergarten. Caring about someone, not just wanting money not being the most important thing. Those concepts have really held me back in a lot of ways. Like, to succeed and to have security and to have power in this world, like to not be powerless and to be taken advantage of, you have to have money. You have to have something that you can, if someone sues me, if Dave Ramsey sues me in court, I need to have money to be able to countersue, or to at least clear my name from what is being accused of me, right? Or if, even worse, like if you get pulled over for something and you're charged with a felony or whatever, or misdemeanor, if you don't have money, you can't get out on bail and you'll sit behind bars for years potentially. I mean, there's a lot at stake when it comes to money. And I struggle with like, valuing myself and all those things. But at the same time, it's like, I realize that it's very important. They are smarter and more powerful and better at business than I am. And probably a lot of us are, not making $700,000 potentially in a year scamming people on the internet. So how do I square this? That's what I'm stuck. And I don't have an answer for it. I don't know. It's hard and I don't know what to do. It's like, I realize this, that the only way to get myself into a place of like security and power that I know of, and not doing it like over a span of 30 years where I'm like, working as an engineer or something, like, that would get you security by the end, perhaps if you survive it. But if I wanted it today, I would have to do what they're doing, which is not giving a shit about anybody but themselves. That's the secret of life, everybody. That's the core at all these self-help seminars. That's the core of all these books. That's the core of everyone's fucking stupid Instagram posts. Care about yourself, shit on everyone else, get their cash from their wallet the fastest, easiest way possible, and then you might feel better about yourself. That's horrible. But that's what it really is. And I watch it over and over and over again come true. Lewis Howes, Ed Millett, Rachel Hollis, Heidi Powell, Dave Hollis, Jay Shetty, all of them are living in mansions while I'm here trying to analyze their stuff and critique it and say, no, you lied. I said, they're laughing at us. Because it's true. The more that you become okay with being a shitty person, the faster you will find success. And that's the horrible thing. Think about every boss you've ever had. Were they nice to you? Probably not. Honestly, probably not. So it's like they probably went to the top, and anyone in corporate America too. It's like the easier you can lay someone off and make those cuts and stuff, the better off you'll be. And that's a hard fact that I'm struggling to deal with. Sorry. Yeah, I should cut this and put this on my resume as I try to get a job. Begging for cash, please. I need some income. I don't want to be, beholden to I don't know. I want to be self-sufficient, but the only way to be self-sufficient is to take advantage of other people. I really think that's the truth, and it's sad. And these people make me feel it, because they do know. And the second part of this is, if you're willing to look like an idiot, like if you're willing to talk about your engagement, are you not, and post your children in compromising positions and do anything, or someone who has scandals and can withstand that, you're going to succeed. Like a Logan Paul, he's embarrassed himself completely. And I think in my head, I'm like, if that was me, I would go away and start life over. Yeah, but he's successful monetarily, which gives him freedom and power and control of his own life by being able to not go away when he does a scandal. But at the same time, it's like, why do I feel like he should walk away? Okay, sorry, I'm going off on tangents, but this is the shit that keeps me up at night. I'm just laying there in bed, twisting my head on the pillow. I thought I've got it all wrong. I got every part of life wrong. And I'm trying to square it where I'm like, okay, how do I come back and still live happily? And I'm not trying to say oh, give me compliments. I need you to feel fill my cup up or whatever the fuck. I'm sharing my thoughts on what really I think about, and I do and I love this community and doing the live streams, that I'm not going to stop doing it. But they're right. That comment is so true. They're smart. These people are not as dumb as they appear, and that's the scary part. They figured it out, whether they're aware of it or not. They figured out the key is manipulating vulnerable people. And when you're vulnerable, and I've been in this position where I was a vulnerable person, I think I still am in a lot of ways, you don't want to see that. You want to believe that these people care about you. You want to believe that Dave and Heidi are sweet, kind, caring people that want to help me. Why would you not? That's a believable, life story I could tell myself to help me sleep at night, but it's not real. So what's the point of it? And I guess that's the point of life. Does everything have to be real? And can I, ignorance is bliss. Is there a world in which I can ignore the reality and still be okay? So far, no. Yeah, I guess not smart. They're, what's the word? Conniving? Yeah, that's true. I don't think they're happy. And maybe that's not the key. It's not happiness. It's power. It's efficiency. Like being able to not have to have a boss, tell you what to do in your life, that you would have some ability to live life on your terms. You have to be able to push other people down to do that. Anyways, on that wonderful note, I don't know what else they say if it's, very important. They're now kind of talking about all the fitness crap and whatever. It was nice to get that off my chest. I appreciate that. Yeah, financial security. There's a lot to talk about with all this stuff. Even the Dave Ramsey, you're so stupid. You got to do this and that and this and that. And then him, realistically doing none of it and selling his product to people who can't afford it, and there's a lot of hypocrisy in all this shit. And it bothers me to no end. So the only thing that gives me any sort of hope is that I'm not speaking into an empty live stream. There's actual, hopefully, human people out there that are, not computer AI robots commenting. You at home, my friends, my best friends on the internet, who I know and love and root for every day of every minute, because it does feel like not feeling alone is so important. And I'm lonely all the time. I'm not going to lie. Excuse me. I burped. I'm not lonely. Blech. I wonder why. I'm lonely all the time. And I have people in my life that are here. Like Steven is here. He's in the other room. And I'm not saying he doesn't make me feel, not lonely, but it's still, even with one person that I really am close to and friends, it's still a lonely world in my view. So it's nice to feel like I'm not alone all the time. Thank you to this community and to the Reddit and to people who are willing to go, life is not always positive and rainbows. And think about every place that you're in. This is something I was thinking when she was talking. Think about every place that you go to. A store, okay? So commerce, work, probably either in corporate or Zoom or whatever, working from home. Church or some sort of worship, and maybe your family. Tell me where out of those 4 places you can be anything but positive without being or looking like an asshole. Now, I'm not saying go to Starbucks and start yelling at people. That's not what I'm doing or wanting to do. But any of those places, it's socially taboo to be anything but perfectly happy all the time. Like if you're at work, no one wants to see you be sad or upset or, whatever. You're supposed to show up professional, right? Professional is the corporate word for positive. At a store or whatever, interacting, you're supposed to be, nice and courteous and wait in the line and do the things nicely, which I think is a good thing. That's probably the place I would agree. Like, let's, be nice in commerce situations. But at church, you're not supposed to ask, hey, the Bible says this doesn't make sense to me. Why would God do that to Moses or whatever? I don't know the Bible enough at all. But you're not supposed to question. You're supposed to just love Jesus or love, your religion and your fellow parishioners unconditionally without questioning. Just have faith, okay? So, and then in your family. Come to my family. I can't say a negative thing whatsoever, or it is like, you are ungrateful and how dare you, I brought you into this world, like you need to worship me too. So it's like, and I'm sure some people have that in their family, like they don't want to hear the negative. So there's no places that are safe, truly. Like they're hawking this, it's a safe place, you can show up as you are. Not really. They want you to show up positive. Where else but the internet can you show up in a negative way and express these feelings that you have? Nowhere. That's why people snap. You're not able to express it. And you could go to the gym. That's my outlet, going to the gym, running, punching something, but it's not the same. You got to express the feelings. And it's like, other than the internet, there's no place that I've found where I feel comfortable doing that. Therapy. Therapy, that is a place. But it's one-on-one and it's not, I pay for it. Yes, exactly. Well, good. If you have a family that's like, supportive, that's awesome. And that's like a thing to cherish for sure. Or a husband or something, or a wife or a boyfriend, girlfriend, friend. If you find that in your life and you can be negative with that person without causing them emotional stress, hang on to that person and never let them go. Hold on. Hang on to them and never let them go, okay? The person that you are able to bitch in front of and near and to about your problems, that is a keeper. That's who you buy engagement ring balloons for. You heard it here first. Everyone's like, are you done? Are you done?